Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this is about Marshall Silver Jubilee Studio 2525H. Yeah, it's a silver tube, but just a little bit smaller one. So the song you just heard, well, I used this, and then my signature Les Paul with EMG 81 and 85 pickups. Then the signal goes to my pedal board. There's a bunch of stuff, but I only used the super overdrive and the ISP decimator to get rid of the hiss. And then the signal goes to this radial headbone tube amp switcher. Yeah, I'm comparing these two. And it goes here, and then from the speaker out back here, and then to this Sir reactive load, where I'm using now, which I used on the song, Jens Bogren's Sound of God version EQ2 impulse response. Then the signal goes here to Steinberg UR816C audio interface, and from there it goes to a computer where I have a Cubase where I'm recording this. Okay, so I've owned the Big Brother, the 100-watt one, the reissue, the X one, and I have played back in the days with the OG Silvertube, you know, what was made in '87. And as far as I remember, this sounds, feels and plays like a Silvertube. What I really like about these small Marshalls, because if I've understood correct, the preamp section is pretty much the same, basically the same than on their Big Brother ones, like on the 800 one, which I did a video a few days ago. So the essence of the amp, it's there, the feel and the sound, everything. And the tubes are ECC 83. My favorites, which I have on these other amps, one are JJ's. I don't know what brand Marshall uses, but sounds fantastic. And the power tubes are EL34s, not EL84s, which usually these smaller amps has. So basically, you know, like 2204, a 50-watt version of a classic 2203, it has two EL34s. So what you're getting is really a bona fide Marshall, just in a smaller enclosure and not that much output. First, let's check out the basic controls and knobs. You have your presence, bass, middle, treble, output master, lead master and input gain. And the output master, you can switch channel to clean by doing this, but it doesn't do anything because I have the foot switch here. And then pull on a rhythm clip, so it adds a clipping diode in the circuit, kind of like if you would have an overdrive in front. It's okay. Personally, I think it compresses the sound a bit too much, and I have never used it when I had the amp. I always, like with any amp, I boost it with bus super overdrive. I just like how that makes the amp behave and sound in front. But there is the option. Similar what most of JCM800 has, the clipping diode there. So kind of like built-in overdrive. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like this without any overdrives. And the Silvertube is based on a JCM800 2203 circuit, so these are quite similar. There's lots of gain, so like almost fuzzy, and then when you pull off the rhythm clip, there's even more. But like with any other amps, I don't like to dial that much gain from the amp, because you heard, it just makes it so. Find the sweet spot, don't look at the numbers, because they don't tell anything. Every amp is a little bit different. There, very surprisingly, it was there where it was before. 6. And then the output master, it's the master volume of a lead channel and the whole amp in general, and then you can adjust the lead volume, so you can balance the volumes between two channels, like now it's clean. But let me show you again what I mean by the sweet spot. So I think this one, the sweet spot is at 7. So you know, there, where you have enough of that power tube saturation, but if you turn it too much, it's fluffy, and it's the 7 where it was. And same with the lead master, because this affects the power tube distortion also. It affects the volume, but also the behavior. Cool. And the controls are very like surgical, especially the mids. Let me show you, because it's on this one and all the other silver tubes, the big ones I played, I've only found basically like one certain spot where I like how the amp sounds, like mid-wise. Let me show you. So it's very, very small changes can make a huge difference. So to me, there's this one position, and obviously different one amp, similar amp, a different one, it might be somewhere else. So here. And the bass is like with 800 you can, you know, turn it on 10, it stays tight, there's this low end. But listen what happens with the silver tube. It starts to fart and it starts to distort the low end. So this is also like there. So I found that it's around 8. Let's check out some clean sounds. Add a chorus. A little bit problem with this one is when you, let's say you dial your sound gain-wise for your, you know, basic. Then when you switch to clean, it could be too much because it shares the same EQ and same gain control. So this is little kind of, you have to make compromise, but well, it's still like better than the 800, because with 800 you have to do physically change the input where the cable goes, but this one you can kind of change it with the foot switch. So, but I mean, you can get away with that just by rolling down the volume. Just a little bit, and then it's clean. So yeah, great amplifier and definitely one of my favorites. And the back panel, it has a effect loop, several different speaker output options, you know, to suit different load boxes and cabinets and stuff. And then you can turn this with the output knob down, it's 20 watts. And up, it's 5 watts. So you can use this at home and still kind of crank the master to get that body. But then with the 20 watt options, you know, with the two EL34s, this is loud enough to use in a, you know, band context with a, let's say, 4x12 cabinet. So it suits many purposes. Okay, so yeah, that's the Okay, I broke a string. Sometimes this happens, but no worries. I have a few other guitars. Just a sec. So, you know, that sometimes happens when you, I said this before, but you know, amplifiers amplify what is fed to them. You know, they don't make or break your sound. You do it with your hands and with your playing, and they just amplify it, makes it louder. And different amplifiers amplify your sound a bit differently. Drop B flat tuning, so the other one was drop C, so we're gonna go with that. Okay, then let me just compare these. First, this one. Like you heard, they both sound great. Once again, this one, let's use without overdrive, so now nothing. Yeah, it works fantastically, but then when I switched to 800, you hear everything, all that. Yeah, but I mean, so this is a bit more forgiving. Fantastic job. And yeah, I forgot to mention that these are not my amps. A Swiss company, MusiX, MusiX, link in the description, they were kind enough to let me borrow these for these videos, and hopefully they will do so in the future, so I can review and try out more gear. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Hope you're all safe and sound, and all the best, and see you soon. Bye.